Hey there, fabulous fourth graders. It's Mr. B with your writing video today. It's Thursday, December 3rd, and we are in the middle of writing our narrative writing piece. Okay, so you guys have hopefully at this point have filled this out, your story layout, where you just kind of give a brief description of each plot point or part of your story, right? So you have your main characters, supporting characters, your setting, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, each one of these chapters is a different plot point, right? So you've already, hopefully, by this point, have written chapter 1, which is your exposition, and your chapter 2, which is your rising action. And today, you are going to attempt to write chapter 3. Now, you'll notice here chapter 3 has two parts, right? Because you've already filled this out on your story layout. This is your conflict and your climax. This is probably my favorite part of narrative writing, right? So you get to tell me what the problem of your story is. What are the main characters facing, main character or characters facing in the story that they have to overcome? What's the issue? Okay, the problem that they're facing. And the climax is the most exciting part of the conflict. Okay, so oftentimes you'll see these in chapter books, like in the middle of a chapter, in the middle of the book somewhere, you'll get a cliffhanger, right? Where you're just like, oh, I have to read some more. This is so exciting. I can't wait to kind of figure out how this whole conflict or this whole climax part of the story ends. What happens? How do the characters fix this problem that they've been presented with? Okay, so today I'm going to read you our teacher story in our conflict chapter, okay, our climax. This is chapter 3. You've already written chapters 1 and 2, hopefully. So we'll go over to that tab. So this is our chapter 1, our chapter 2, our rising action, and this is chapter 3, our climax and conflict, which is our most exciting part of our story, okay? Don't let Miss Albrecht tell you that her part is better, because this part is the most exciting part of the story. All right, so your climax, and ours is the teacher's. I'll read this to you and then we'll have a little talk about it. So the party is in just a week and everything is planned out. An event coordinator was helping to plan everything: the decorations, the food, the venue, and most importantly, my outfit. A few friends wanted to help with their clothes, so I decided, why not? I can help them out. Well, I've got the money. 2 weeks later, the bill came. I have never seen that many zeros on a bill in my life. Everyone had the best time, but oh man, was that a pricey party. Ice sculptures, huge buffet table, and fancy clothes sure do seem to add up. With that bill in hand, I was still getting so many calls, friends who wanted to hang out. We decided to plan a few trips here and there and a couple shopping adventures. Having money was the absolute best. I had so many people to hang out with and to go do fun stuff with. The only tough part was always fitting the bill. It was time to get serious with my money. I had the car and the fun, and now I needed to start to plan what would be responsible for me to do with the rest of my money. The bad thing was my bank account was starting to look a lot smaller. Okay, so we've been kind of introduced to the climax of the story, right? The conflict. The main character is, they've got all this money, and they've helped out their friends, and it seems like the friends are just kind of hanging around because they get all this cool stuff for free, right? Well, so that's kind of the main character's issue here, okay? And you can see that we've kind of written about that, and by the end of this chapter, we kind of get the sense that the character is faced with this problem, okay? That they needed to start to get a lot more serious with their money, be more responsible with it. And the bad thing was that their bank account was starting to look a lot smaller, right? So they're having this issue that they're presented with. So tomorrow, or actually not tomorrow, but in a couple of days, you guys are going to be hearing kind of how the events that lead to the solution, which is the falling action. But today is just the most exciting part. I'm glad Mr. B got to introduce you to that today. So while you're writing this, your most exciting part, the climax, the conflict, make sure that you're including all that good stuff, dialogue, great descriptive words, okay? And keep track of your punctuation, capitalization, good grammar, okay? Also keep in mind some of those main character characteristics, those character traits, right? See if you can try to give us a clue as to how your main character is dealing with this problem based on just kind of how you've built your main character, okay? Are they, like, for instance, our main character is starting to realize that they need to start being more responsible with their money, right? So start to think about how you can incorporate some of your main character's character traits into this climax, okay? Are they fearful? Uh, are they brave? Are they courageous? What are they doing? How are they facing this conflict, this climax, the most exciting part of the story? All right, friends, that is the task for today. So go ahead and get started writing your chapter 3 of your narrative writing piece. And we'll be back in a few days to talk to you about the falling action, your chapter 4. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and we'll see you soon.